went to Iwo Jima, and the Marines now were ready to go land this island. But before they landed on the island, the aircraft carriers, the battleships, destroyers, cruisers, bombed the island continuously. And Iwo Jima was a small island. That was my first initial combat. I thought that island would sink the way all the bombs were thrown on it, and I never thought anybody could be surviving that. But sure enough, the Japanese were well secured in that island. There's a big mountain on that island called Mount Suribachi. It was a volcanic mountain, but it was an active volcano. And the sand on Iwo Jima was black sand because of the ashes from the volcano. The Japanese built elevators in that mountain and caves throughout the whole island and tunnels right through the whole island. So when the bombers went there, naturally they didn't come out, they stayed in there. So when the Marines came in, they thought for sure there would be no opposition, and the first Marines landed there and nobody was shot at. And they couldn't get over that, it was so easy. Well, when the second wave came in, all of a sudden the Japanese came out of the mountains, came out of the tunnels, because the planes had to go back to get reloaded with bombs, and that's when they took advantage of that, and they began to fire at the Marines. Now my ship was anchored 100 yards off the beach, and we were told not to do any firing at all, not to shoot, because with aviation gasoline you don't fire. If we shoot at them, somebody shoot back at us, and our ship got hit, it would explode immediately. So we were told not to do any firing. But I watched the Marines go by. And then, it was about the third day in Iwo Jima. It was a cold February day, I remember it well. There was a flag flying on top of the mountain, Mount Suribachi. I never thought it was our flag, because the Marines just landed there just 2 days before that. And I didn't think they would get up to that mountain that quick. But sure enough, it was our flag. How many remember seeing a postage stamp that had out with a big picture? I should have brought the picture, I didn't bring it with me, of the flag on Iwo Jima. But it's a very popular picture. Well, I was so inspired by that. I knew I couldn't have that particular flag, but I looked on my ship, there's a flag flying on my ship. I said, I'm going to see if I can get that flag. So I went to the quartermaster who was in charge of taking the flag up and down, because whenever it get torn and battered, they would change the flag. So I went up to him, I think his name was Robinson. I said, Robinson, I like that flag when you pull it down. He said to me, Barney, you got it. Well, I look back at it now, this is so many years later. I had this flag, I'll show it to you in a minute, in my home for years, never took it out, never talked about it. As a matter of fact, World War II veterans never talked about the war when we came home. You know, we weren't really professional fighters or anything like that. We were civilians like you kids are now. That's what we were, young, much older than you now. 10 years more than what you are now, or 12 years more. And we went into the service, but we went in to preserve our country, because our freedom was threatened. And so we went in not knowing when we would get back, if we got back alive at all. And here I am now. We came back out of the war, then we tried to resume our civilian life all over again. Try to get into college, get a job, we didn't have a job yet. We became civilians. This flag I'm going to show you was the flag that was flying on my ship during the Battle of Iwo Jima, and also Okinawa. What could this be? And you too.